It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Friday, the 11th of April. I'm Michael Groff. We are ensconced in the hottest weather we've had so far this year. Temperatures breaking records again today and tomorrow. But then a cooling trend begins on Sunday and continuing through much of next week. Daytime highs expected to remain above average, but at least below that triple-digit threshold for a while. What about some rain chances? And we don't really anticipate much in terms of precipitation around here, but there is a little bit of forecast uncertainty that we have to talk about, as well as so much more we will get to in just a moment. But before we do that, it is Friday, and that means it's Photo Friday here. That's where we take a look at some of the photos and or videos that you guys have submitted. And first up, of course, David Parnell. That's the guy that took this picture last Saturday, the time, the place, Mountain View High School. And yes, high school sports was a beautiful weekend last weekend. Temperatures in the 60s and 70s and just gorgeous. Hope you got out and enjoyed it. Even a couple of rain showers around late in the afternoon, but just delightful. Speaking of delightful, Beth, her garden is continuing to bloom out there in North Phoenix, and we always appreciate these pictures. Michelle and I like to see this. This is sort of a gauge of how our garden's going as well, because, mint continues to grow. That canna, I believe, is that plant that we have out front. Everything, the oleander, everything is still going nuts in our garden too. So it's good to see these pictures. We'd love to see that. Although with temperatures heating up, some of those flowers, they're going to start to struggle. I think the daisies are already struggling in our backyard. All right, then we go up to Big Sky Country, Montana. Buck sends in some pictures from up there. And yes, even in Montana, the weather is starting to warm up. The snow is starting to melt, although it's never too late to get snow up in Montana. We're only in the month of April. They certainly can see snow well into May. Heck, they've even had snow in early June up there in Montana before. But nevertheless, Buck checking in with some pictures from way up north. We love to see that. Then Gary, out in the West Valley, out toward Buckeye. Of course, things are blooming out there too. So the desert is alive this time of the year. And I know some people don't, I don't know. Not everybody has the same appreciation. I love the desert. I think the desert is beautiful in its own right, especially this time of year. If you can get out and check out some of those flowers that are out there, hey, all the better. And you can send them in to us, Photo Friday. We love to see that. All right, Kevin was out in, I believe this is from Mesa last weekend. And yes, Saturday afternoon, there were a few little showers, a few little surprise showers that popped up. And so it was a little bit of virga, not really much in terms of actual rain that reached the ground, but Kevin does have those pictures for us. And finally, Miles Sampson. Normally, he sends in pictures from Southern California. These are actually from right around the valley here, the Dreamy Draw. And again, cool pictures. He says that he's going to be taking a trip to Death Valley, so we can expect more pictures on the way. Love to see it. And that's why we do this each and every Friday. Photo Friday, that's what we do. And you can submit your photos and or videos, groffshow@gmail.com. That's our email address. It's groffshow@gmail.com for Photo Friday. All right, let's get into it here. The almanac from yesterday. Do we really want to look at this? I guess we do. All right, here it is. 100 degrees was the afternoon high. That was our first 100-degree day of the year, coming on April 10th. I believe that's the third or fourth, the fourth earliest on record. And that did tie the record high for the date, which was set in 1989 and 2018. That low temperature of 68 degrees. Of course, obviously, those are above the averages of 84 and 59 as we take a look outside right now. Here at 11:45 a.m., we've got some high clouds out there right now, a few high clouds anyway. We're sitting at 90 degrees at Sky Harbor, dew point's 41. Humidity sits at 18%, wind from the east at 5, barometer 30.02 inches, and steady. Satellite out here across the west, and yeah, there might be a few high clouds across Arizona right now, but that's about it. High pressure is in control. The main storm track stays to the north, will remain so for the time being. The watch warning map is relatively quiet. We've got red flag warnings across southern and southeast Arizona, low humidity, some breezy conditions. Obviously, these very warm temperatures, the stage is set for wildfire. We have very high fire danger. Fire weather watchers are posted down there as well. And for Maricopa County, we've got an air quality alert that's been extended through 9 p.m. this evening. No, not 9:15 this time, 9 p.m. this evening, courtesy of the Arizona Department of Environmental Quality. We also have some red flag warnings over parts of Montana, North Dakota, and of all places, the Florida Peninsula around Orlando and some of the coastal sections there. Dry conditions. Believe it or not, this is the driest time of the year across Florida, April and into early May, and sometimes it can be very dry. Hard to believe, I know, but yep, it can be very dry in the Florida Peninsula this time of year. Convective outlook for today. Now, there is a risk of some severe storms for parts of Florida, that marginal risk around Jacksonville, and as well as further north toward the Carolinas up to around Virginia Beach. And the precipitation outlook for us, valid through Friday morning of next week. Rain amounts in Phoenix, nothing. Statewide, basically nothing. There could be an isolated shower around next week sometime. We're going to highlight what's going on with that and everything else too as we get to the models right now. Take a look, see what the future may hold. Here we go. It's the GFS, the 12Z run. This is valid at 5 o'clock this afternoon. Trough for the east, a ridge out here in the west. Those heights well above average. So what it means down at the surface for the rest of the day today, mostly sunny. And yeah, just plain old hot. Highs 98 to 102. The record high for today in Phoenix, 99 degrees. We are expecting to break that, obviously. Tonight, clear sky, mild, lows in the 60s. Tomorrow, sunny and hot again. At least sunny in the morning. We'll turn partly sunny in the afternoon. But high temperatures will still top out somewhere between about 97 to 101. And we'll see the high clouds continue even into Sunday. But for the most part, ridging will still be around. We'll see these weather disturbances passing by to the north that will start to flatten this ridge out a little bit and bring the heights down. But temperatures are still going to remain well above average. We'll be in the low to mid 90s on Sunday with partly cloudy sky. Same thing on Monday, some clouds around. High temperatures should still probably be around 90 or so, low 90s. Upper 80s, low 90s on Tuesday. The sky is mostly sunny to partly cloudy, and we'll see the same story more or less on Wednesday. And at some point next week, there might be just enough moisture around with one of these passing systems for a brief shower across northern Arizona, but I really doubt it. The prospects of that don't look very good. We do have an upper low that's approaching the California coast toward late next week. We've been talking about this feature for a while, but there's still quite a bit of difference in how this is going to play out based on our model solutions. The deterministic guidance, the ensembles are all kind of flip-flopping around all over the place on the evolution of this feature. The GFS eventually does have it approaching Southern California, trying to undercut the ridge, but it's going to start to weaken as that happens. Now, moisture should increase across the area, at least to some degree. We'll see some high clouds around by about Thursday, partly sunny sky, and temperatures should hold in the, I'd say, upper 80s, low 90s. A week from today, this is Friday, the 18th. And again, that upper low is situated well to the west of Los Angeles. And so in that position, it's a little further west than what we looked at on the runs yesterday. And so moisture would probably remain just to the west of us. I suppose there could be an isolated shower or two across Southern California, Southern Nevada, Western Arizona. We were looking at that yesterday, and that's still maybe on the table. But at this point, I kind of think we'd have to wait until this system moves a little bit further to the east, and that's what looks to happen by Saturday the 19th. You got that upper low tracking into Southern California and Western Arizona. Now, again, it's weakening as it does. And there's not a lot of moisture with it, but we could still squeeze out an isolated shower or thunderstorm here across southern Arizona, something that we'll watch for. But at this point, even best case scenario, just isolated rain chances. Now, forecasting an upper low 7, 8, 9 days out. Of course, we don't get attached to any one solution, but that's just an idea that's on the table. And let's keep going. We'll go out 10 days. This is Sunday, the 20th. It's Easter Sunday. And we've got now the low is opening up into a wave, and it's coming out into the plain states, taking kind of a negative tilt characteristic as it does. Now, this is one of those, we've already started to see the social media guys buzzing about this, right? The usual players on social media. Hey, a big severe weather threat for Easter Sunday. And let's back up just a little bit. Pump the brakes ever so slightly. Yes, negative tilt wave coming out of the Rockies toward the plain states. This is weakening. That surface low that's with that will be lifting north fairly rapidly. And there's just not a lot of moisture with this. Yeah, we could see some showers and thunderstorms across the plain states. We could see some isolated severe storms with a setup like that. But I got to tell you, this is 10 days out, and all the hype and hullabaloo that's out there on social media about look out for a severe weather event for Easter Sunday. Yeah, let's back it off just a little bit. The dynamics don't look to be incredible with this. This is just one of those where I think we're going to have to watch and see how model trends play out. But you've got a system that is weakening as it comes out toward the plain states. And the main surface low with this, the upper low is not even an upper low anymore. It's kind of it's weakened into more of an open wave. The surface low is lifting north across the Dakotas, and there's not a ton of moisture. And so that's why I'm a little bit hesitant on calling for any sort of real big concern about severe weather. But it is April, and that's always a concern this time of year across the plain states. So naturally, it's something we'll keep in mind. Now, for us on Easter Sunday, if all of this plays out as advertised, again, you look at the heights here, and it's pretty much average for us with a westerly flow. So temperatures would probably be anywhere from the mid-80s to low 90s across the southern Arizona deserts. And we might see just a light breeze, and looks like a pretty nice day overall, relatively speaking, for this time of year. But obviously, we'll keep an eye on this, and, well, you got to just go to your trusted sources of information and stay away from those hypesters, right? Leave that to me. I'll handle it. I'll read all that nonsense so you guys don't have to. All right. Looking at rainfall for Phoenix, this goes out through the 25th of April. It's off the GFS ensemble. You can pretty much forget it. No real meaningful chance of rain. European ensemble, 51 members. Yeah, only a scattering of them have any precipitation for us. The ensemble mean is way under 1/10 of an inch. So we're not looking at any significant chance of precipitation. Checking out temperatures off the national blend of models. Yeah, it's hot today, tomorrow. A gradual cooling trend takes place thereafter. But when we say cooling trend, yeah, highs will dip down into the upper 80s and low 90s on a few days. But still, this is above seasonal averages. All right, that's going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video is due back here on Monday morning. But of course, updates before that if necessary. Should you happen to enjoy these videos, and of course you absolutely do, then be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell, leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. If you really want to help us out and support this channel, and we could really use your support, so go ahead and click that thanks icon below the video here on YouTube, or make a contribution to us via PayPal. groffshow@gmail.com is that PayPal address. It's groffshow@gmail.com to help support this channel and support weather information that's, I know, it's not hyped. We don't use the fanciest graphics in the world. We're not here to tell you that you're all going to die and the world's going to go boom and, oh my goodness, and death and destruction and chaos. I'm sorry that we don't do that. And maybe if we did that, we'd probably get a lot more PayPal, a lot more donations. We'd be on. We could just do one of those Twitch streams where we're on there live, and we look at every single thunderstorm that develops, and this could become severe at any moment, and hyperanalyze all that. And listen, severe weather coverage is very important. When there is actually severe weather, I think, there's a lot of people that do an invaluable service with that, but you just got to be careful out there, man. That's all I can tell you. But anyway, help support this channel. Groffshow@gmail.com is that PayPal address. All right. It's obvious I've spent a little bit too much time looking at different weather guys on social media, isn't it? You can always tell when that's happened. And we're a few months away from the summer monsoon season, and we all know the players that get involved with that too, right? Issuing their own tornado watches and severe thunderstorm watches and extreme. What is it? What's the other one that they have? Like extreme lightning watch. Those guys over there. You know what site I'm talking about. We all know. I don't need to say it. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. The executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion is my OAO, the sweetest of all time, the Asian sensation, and the proprietor of sweetchildaz.com.org and the Facebook page of the same name, Sweet Child Arizona, talking about my Michelle. Check her out, her blogs, videos, everything Michelle related and tangentially Adriana related. It's all linked up down in the description. And yes, when you support this channel, you're not just supporting me. Do it for Michelle. Do it for Adriana. Do it for Freya, our cat. Or Topaz, our Aussie, our cattle dog. Or Buddy, our 15-year-old shepherd beagle mix who is, I don't know, he's old, but he's still kicking around. He's still trying, man. Good old boy. So when you support this channel, you're not just supporting me. You're supporting a whole bunch of folks. I didn't even mention Kylie. There's so many people that you are helping out in support of this channel. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. All of your continued support. If you really want to help us out too, you can check out our streaming station. It's available 24/7, 365. It's called KMGX. We play a ton of music and have a lot of fun with that too. All right, that's it. And please be safe, stay cool, stay hydrated out there this weekend. It's going to be a hot one out there. And you guys have yourselves a great Friday and a wonderful weekend.